Okay, so to continue this one, this is what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to transfer this my pin here at the 3 inches where we marked out, the place we are going to be pleating. Okay, I'm taking out the pins. So for this, I'm going to go ahead and sew a straight line on this. Alright, so I've run a straight stitch on it, as you can see. I've run a straight stitch, so I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to spread it like so and make it equal on the down part. I'm going to make it equal. I'm opening it at the middle and I'm going to use my pins to hold it down. Now we'll be needing a steam iron to steam this to stay in place. And then I'll come over to the top here and I'll do the same thing. You spread it, you open it up, and then you hold it down with pins. Okay, this is how I intend to sew in the down part. So I'm going to take the lower bodice, supposed to come here and be joined, so I'm going to be putting it like this on top. Find the middle and match it. For the lower lining piece for the lower bodice, this one is going to be coming the other way from under, so I'm going to be placing it underneath. You can see that I've taken out the darts for all of them, so I'm going to be matching it together. So I'm going to go ahead and match it and then open it up to have the inner and the back will just be clean like that. Okay, so this is, I'm doing it for this, both the front and the back. So this is the pieces of the back piece and I'm going to do the same thing. Now in this ones there are no darts, so there are no holding on this. I'm just going to take the lining, the main fabric, like so, and I'll pin it down. And then this one is going to come right under. So I'm just going to hold the three of them together. Then when I'm done sewing this place, I'm going to turn it like this. I will sew here. I will sew here together so that when you turn it inside out, the top and the hemming will be clean. That's the joining at the waistline and the hemming will be clean. So this is one of the front, the back piece. So let me show you what I have done. This is it. This is what I'm aiming at, so that the body, it will look as if the dress was tucked in when the person wears it. It will look as if the organza was tucked, that the person is wearing a skirt and a top and tucked in the top. Okay, that's the purpose of this. I'm going to also top stitch it. I'll top stitch it against the lining piece. So this is the back and the front looking clean. That is the purpose. And this is the front piece. This is the front piece. By the time I iron it, everything I'm saying will just make more sense. Look at it. It's attached, looking so clean. And this is the dart effect. We've created it. And this is the back piece, the wrong side, looking clean. So what I'm going to do now is turn here inside again and sew the bottom, and sew the edge with 1/2 inch. So let me show us what I have done. This is it. This is one piece of the back. This is the organza, and this is the purpose of sewing the down part. See what I'm doing? Now this is giving this place neat finishing, and then this is the back. Can you see this? The back is looking equally as clean, and then I top stitch the back part so that it will lay flat. I top stitched it. So this is the other piece. And here is it. So I am going to join these pieces together and then attach the zip. I'm going to attach the zip before I continue. I'm going to take it to the machine now and then sew from here all the way down, leaving just a little bit at the back open for ease, and then for the and then this is the front piece. Here is the front piece. This is the wrong side. Look at how clean it is. This is the joining, and I top stitched it as well. And this is the line of the pleats, and this is the down part. Now this is the reason why I made the main fabric 21 inches and the lining fabric 19 inches, because of this, so that when I sew here, this place will go over, and it will give this neat finishing at the edge. There's no sewing line. Okay, that is it. That's the purpose. And you can see that even the dart lines are neatly ironed. So ironing is very important. See, this is the pleat. The pleat is staying on its own because I have steam ironed it. It's staying down on its own. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is the dart line. So remember, from the dart line, so for me to take out the dart, I'm going to mark from the bust point 4 inches, which is the nipple to the nipple measurement. That's the bust span. And then I'm going to go out again by 1 inch. This is how I did it. And then from that 1 inch, I'm going to be taking out our 1.5 inch dart on the side for the bust. Okay, so I'm going to also go ahead and do that, and then attach the zip, and then we can start working on the sleeve. Now for the sleeve part, this is one layer of the sleeve. Remember, the sleeve is going to have a cuff. It has another layer. So this is the one layer of the sleeve, and this sleeve is just a ruse. This the sleeve pattern we've drafted is just a ruse. We are going to be using a lot of organza to create an exaggerated sleeve at the end of the day. So let me just show us. So I'm going to be creating an exaggerated sleeve with it. So we're going to be making marks. Let me take this out so it doesn't. Okay. So I'm going to be making using chalk to create lines that I am going to be creating the rules on it. Okay, and this, it will appear really full and very exaggerated. So let's get back to the machine and attach the zip, and then come back and fix the sleeve. On the other note, this is the bustier. This is the crop top bustier for this other one. So we're going to go ahead and fixing the bustier as well. Look at how this bustier is well cupped in and standing. Okay, and it's just one layer of wadding we added. Okay, just one layer of breast pad we added. Okay, so this one I've ironed it. I'm going to take the lining piece, place it over, and I am going to go ahead and sew on the top to do the facing. I'm going to sew it on the top and then turn it up, and this is the back pieces. This is the back pieces, and we're also going to go ahead and do the same thing. And for this one, when I sew the top as well, since I've already put the darts, so I'm going to also go ahead and sew the top for this one. Sew the top stitch it, and then you can see that the lining piece is also shorter than the main fabric. So this is because with the line, this is going, instead of, there will be no need to hem the edges again. When we sew it on the top stitch it, I'm going to bring it down and sew the top, and then turn it inside out from any of the sides. Okay, that's the purpose for that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well, and then attach the zip with it as well. So let's go to the sewing machine. We have a lot of work to do. Okay, let's start with the top of this one. Okay, so I'm going to top stitch it now, and to do that I'm just going to open up these places that are curved. Okay, so now that I've sewn it here, I'm going to turn it down and then top stitch and sew the down part again. This is to make sure that this the hem is neat. Okay. Okay, the same thing for these back pieces. I'm also going to sew the hem with the inner lining. I'm going to turn it inside out, and then I'll take it to the ironing board and iron it. So here, you iron it, you're going to be getting this a neatly finished . So this is it, something like this. It's going to be like a bralette kind of. So I'm going to iron this before I put the zip, but for now let me put the zip for this other one. It is not as long as I would prefer, but it will work. So with this now, the zip is going to stop somewhere around here. So this is where I will stop. I'm just going to use my 1 inch from here and sew I'm just going to mark the 1 inch and hold it down. So now to make sure this place aligns, to make sure the waistline aligns when you are sewing it, this is what I like to do. I zip it first, then I take a pin and put it exactly where these two matches, exactly where they meet. And then I'm going to just hold the pin down there. I will unzip it. And then I'm going to take this other side and I will match it to exactly where I pinned it and put it there. So this is the trick I use and it works every time. So, and then I'm pinning it down there. So with this now, when I sew it, it is going to match. So I'm taking this other side. I'm going to start sewing again from the top. Alright, so here, when you now zip it, you see that they both match. That's the secret. So I'm going to turn it this other way and sew the rest of it. Alright, so the zip is attached. So the zip is here attached, as you can see. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach the zip for the upper bodice. I have ironed it, as you can see, and this is it. This is a closer look. That is the top stitching at the top, and this is the hem, looking neat. Okay, so now we can attach the zip to the back. See, and then this is the front. This is the bustier. Look at it, and this is the hem of the bustier, and this is the inner, looking so clean. So I'm going to go ahead and put the zip for the bustier. So So this is the direction of the zip. So I'm going to be sewing the zip in a way that this part, the edge of the zip, is at the bottom of the dress. That way it can be removed completely since it's stopping at the waist area. Okay, so I'm using 1 inch to sew this. Right, just like I did for the gown, I'm also going to pin this here to be sure that this is going to land exactly on the same place. I am going to pin it and then place it on the other part exactly on the same place. Place it on the same plane, the same line, and then pin it together to make sure that when I sew it, it will stop exactly on the same place. And then here, I'm going to come here and be sure to pin this down. So the zipper is attached. Okay, so now I am going to use my marker. I'm going to use my chalk. I am marking where I am going to cut out this so that it will be equal when I cut it. Then I'm going to zip it down and cut out the excess. So to conceal the excess, I am going to take it to the back of the sewing allowance, and I'm just going to top stitch it there to keep it in place. So this is it. The zip is neatly attached. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to sew the sides. So I'm just going to be using the 1.5 inch sewing allowance I kept, and I'm going to use it to join the sides together. And this is it. The bralette part is ready, and this is it. So for this one, I'm going to be joining the shoulder lines, and so I'm joining the shoulder lines. So I'm going to open it, take the measurement of the neckline so that I can now use this neckline to do the bishop collar. But before that, it's time to take out the dart from the front part. And so to do this, I am going to be taking my measurement. So from the shoulder line to the bust is 11 inches. So I'm going to measure 11 inches. This is 11 inches. This is where the bust area is. And then from here, so all the way here. So from here, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inch, and I'm going to be taking my dart by 1.5 inch. This 1.5 inch has to be around you have to take it before the end of the. What I'm saying is, so from here I am going to fold it down here to get my 1.5 inch. So I'm folding here down, pinning it. And so to take the dart, I'm going to measure 0.75, which is 1.5. 0.75, that's 1.5. So the 0.75 should get to so I'm going to sew it straight until I get to close to the middle. And to know where your dart should stop, you measure from the middle of the upper bodice. You get your 4 inches, which is the nipple to nipple measurement. That's the bust span. And from there, I'm going to come out by 1 inch again towards the end, and this is towards the seam line. And from here I went back 1 inch again towards the seam line because I don't want it to come to the nipple side. So I'm going to go ahead and sew my dart here. So this is the first one. So this is my first dart, as you can see, and so it's going to come this way. When you are sewing, I'm going to bring it down like this, place it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for here too. So this is it.